All right, what's good? What's good? What's good? This is your host, your wonderful host. Uh, what a doozy, 1929. Well, actually, no, I changed the name. It's Relax, it's Alex, or Relax is me. Can't remember. And we are back at the junkyard. I was here earlier. I was here today because I needed to get a part for my father's car. He needed a coolant reservoir for a Chevrolet Equinox. That is a SUV for you people out there. Oh shit. I gotta be very careful because I'm not wearing the right shoes. As you see, I'm wearing Vans, and they don't do good when it comes to traveling. Let's get out of this section. I should have worn something better. All right, so we're just gonna be doing a little exploring. I haven't been here in a while, so hopefully we can find some good cars. We got a DeVille, some not just good cars, but just quirky ones. Here we have is a Buick Roadmaster. I love the Buick Roadmaster, and if for some of you people out here who are car nerds, you do know that the Buick Roadmaster is on the list of being a sleeper. It's not because I don't know if I hope you people know what a sleeper is, but I know you do. This engine right here, this should be the LT4, if I'm correct. V8, the same V8 that was in the Corvette back then. And these were pretty radical back then. People would do anything stupid to these. It's basically a Corvette engine, and there's another one over down there in white. This one's a 95, so acres of space. The Roadmaster, I think this was GM's B body, which means the B body will be the Chevrolet Caprice, the Chevrolet Impala SS, Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham, and if I'm correct, I think the Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser station wagon, or Vista Cruiser, if I'm correct. So they have that optional V8 engine. Really powerful engine, really good engines, known for really good reliability. They're not bad engines. I'm seeing a lot of the GM cars out here. Chevrolet Aveo, don't ever get that. I see a car I actually like. People, I love this car. This right here doesn't seem like much, but this is a Buick Park Avenue Ultra. That name itself is something special, and that trunk badge, supercharged. Buick Park Avenue Ultra. That was the top of the line Buick Park Avenue. That was the top of the line Buick, one of the top of the line Buicks. And this is the GM 3800 Series V6. Really good engine, really known for their reliability. Unfortunately, it had poor, when it was paired to a very slushy transmission, which kind of gave it a bad reputation. But that right there on top, that made it up. This supercharger. And for people out there who don't know what a supercharger is, a supercharger is belt driven. It's right there, driven by the car's own belt, and it's got inside there's some scrolls, twin scrolls, and what it does is it spins. It takes that car, it takes a lot of air and it forces it right down to this intercooler, forces it down here into the engine, basically increasing the fuel air mixture, giving it more power, thus the name supercharged. If you had a GM 3800 series supercharged engine, you had it. I can name I think a few of the GM 3800 series with the optional supercharger was the Buick Park Avenue Ultra, the Pontiac Grand Prix GXP, the Pontiac Bonneville SSEI, I think the early 90s Chevrolet Impala SSs, not early 90s, the early 2000s Impala SSs. They were good, good when it comes to that, but these were really good engines. They're kind of hard to come by in good shape. Most of the people who have them tend to destroy them and ruin them. Another good one, if you can find, is a Buick Regal GS. That's another one, actually. A Buick Regal GS will have the supercharged 3800 series V6. I don't know if this is not it. This one doesn't have the This is not the GS model, but right now I don't see any of them. But we're gonna keep going. But that's the Buick Park Avenue Ultra. Really good cars. I love them. This car got really butchered. This looks like a Firebird, an early 80s Firebird. It is an early 80s Firebird. Oh, Lord. Yeah, damn, this thing is gone. It is completely gone. Nothing left of it. It's pretty much just a body shell. The tranny, looks like the chassis is gone too. Pretty much. Yeah, they stripped that one completely. I'm gonna go over here. This looks like a Chevrolet Lumina, or it's a Corsica. It's a Chevrolet Corsica. This is one of GM subcompacts back in the late 80s and the 90s, if I'm correct. That's when the Corsica came out. Not good cars. They're not one of GM's finest vehicles, but it's something. Now, if I'm correct, we can pop the hood if I can find the hood popper, but I can't get the door open at this moment. Oh, here we go. It's got the iconic the seat belts where it kind of whirl. I think these whirl into place, if I'm correct. I don't know if these are it. See if we can find the hood latch. Looks like the hood latch got broke. Yeah, they broke the hood latch. But as you can see, it's just mostly the 90s amenities. Nothing special. GM was really known for their quirky cars in the 80s and 90s. They were really quirky, especially the Pontiacs, in my opinion. They were just odd vehicles. They had weird shapes, weird body, weird interior colors and shapes. They were just oddball cars. Interesting ones, but just oddballs. This is a Pontiac Grand Am. This was this is one of the cars that did, I think, probably had the supercharged V6. No, it looks like it's naturally aspirated, if I'm correct. Yes, no, it's naturally aspirated. It's not supercharged. It's got ram air. I didn't know that. It's got ram air. Huh. Looks like we're gonna. Looks like a Buick. It is a Buick. Look at that. It's a Buick. It's a late 70s, early 80s Buick. What is this? This is not a Regal. It's got a carburetor, so it's a late 70s, early 80s probably. This is probably I want to say this is a LeSabre. And I might be wrong. No, I'm right. 1984 Buick LeSabre. It's a big car. Gas tank is located in the back and behind the license plate. It's not one of the well-known Love Buicks, but it does have a V8. Usually what I do is I like to take the seats, the what you call it, not the seats, the hood ornaments off, but I don't think that's doable at this moment. It's the interior. You got bench seats in the front, bench seats in the back. This wasn't one of GM's perfect vehicles. Again, not very good, kind of rough. Every car has their story, but let me find this right here. This looks like to be, looks like some soap. What the heck is this? This is a soap. Looks like some soap. Looks like some mail. We're not gonna do that because I can't tell who that is. I probably hope I can block that, but headliner is gone. This is what the interior looks like. Oh snap! I'm about to fall. It looks like it was painted a different color. Yeah, that's not the original color. It's supposed to be white. I'm right. Yeah, this thing was white. It's got the conference of all files. Date manufacturer shown above. This is October October of 1983. So this is one of those late model vehicles. You know, they said, oh, you know, in 1983, probably during Christmas, they probably offer this as this is the brand new 1984. You know, they always do that. This looks like this is a V8. This is probably a 350 V8. I'm hoping this is not the Oldsmobile diesel V8, the 350 that people really didn't like. Right now I see a lot of I just don't see a lot of good things around here. Probably when we get to the Ford section, we'll find some good things, but at this moment, I don't see anything particularly nice. This is an Impala with the 35. I don't think this is a good engine, but this looks like this is a Seville. This is a Cadillac Seville. I like the Seville. It's a 2000 Seville, so I think they stopped making these around 2004 when they stopped, and this one got the battery in the back seat, in the trunk. I thought the Seville was a really good looking car. This is a pretty automobile. The body wise, I thought it was really pretty. You got wood dash, you got wood everything. Everything is high quality at the time, but there was only one thing that made this car literally just terrible. And hopefully I can find it. Yeah, I can. There was one thing that made this car very terrible. And let me lift it up right here to show it. This is stupid. Whoever did this needs to go to at least whatever done to him. Okay, it seems like I can't pop the hood, but underneath probably most of the V8 powered Cadillacs in the late 90s, and it all started with the Cadillac Alante, the North Star V8. Not a good engine. There were never good engines from this. Well, there were good, decent engines, but it's just that they were not good. On paper, they were supposed to be good, but in reality, they wasn't. They had a problem with the head gaskets blowing, and it was at the point where it would cost more to fix the car than cost more to fix rather than replace, rather than just get it than what the car's worth. What I meant. I like these old Firebirds, but this one is just the beak front. I don't like that. Yeah, they're not good cars. I don't know why people still buy them back then, but they were not good cars. Right now we're in a Ford section. That's Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury. At this point, I don't see many good Ford products. I see pretty much the same stuff I've seen. Here's a Ford Taurus. Reminds me of my old Ford Taurus. I had a 2004. Had over 200,000 miles on it. Seeing this brings back memories. It's a Lincoln LS, Crown Vic, Ford Taurus, another Ford Taurus. These are mainly just the Fords you're used to see. I don't see anything older than 1990. And that's nothing bad, but this car got rear-ended bad. Ooh, Thunderbird. No, this is not a Thunderbird. This is a Crown Vic. It's an early 90s Crown Vic. Is it a Crown? No, it's not. It's a Thunderbird. It's a early 90s, late 80s, early 90s Thunderbird. These are interesting, and it's got the V8. I think the Thunderbird was just, when it had its heyday in the 50s and 60s, and then onwards, it just, it didn't live up to what it used to be. But then you think of it, it was a competitor to the almighty Corvette. But then right when the Mustang came out, there was just no use of having a thing like this. And then as decades and decades went by, personal luxury car craze kind of died out. Right now, it looks like we're gonna head towards the trucks. It's like another Mustang right here in yellow. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. It's an old Jeep. Huh. That's an odd shape, but I like it. I know y'all probably see it, but I see a rag top roof and I see a square body. It's either a Continental town car or something older. But anyway, it looks two doors, so it's probably a Mercury Cougar or a Grand Marquis Coupe. Whoa, it's a Grand Marquis Coupe. These are hard to find. Wow. The Mercury Grand Marquis Coupes. These are hard to find. They didn't make too many of these. It's got the 5-liter V8, the same 5-liter V8 that was in the Mustang GT back then, the Windsor V8 302. It's a good engine. They're really good. Glass headlights. Wow, these are hard to find. I don't know who did this, but man, 1987. Yeah, those are hard to find. It's an Escort wagon. Looks like to be a Nissan Xterra, if I'm correct. I don't care. Okay, it looks like we're headed towards the truck section. For you people, I'm not a big truck fan. I really am not. I don't do trucks. Just out of all the trucks in here and SUVs, this is the coolest. The Jeep Grand Cherokee with the famous straight six. Those are reliable. The only Jeep product I would ever consider anybody buying. So instead of probably going over there, I'm probably just gonna go. I'm gonna probably go to the import section. Go to the import section, and it's the Chrysler section. Yes, before there's a Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Plymouth. Excuse me. You'll find them here. Not a big Chrysler fan. I'm definitely not a Chrysler fan. Excuse me. But oh dear. Nissan Altima. This is probably a 2003 or 4. I need parts from an Altima, but I need one from an 06, 05 to 06. You can tell the difference between the early ones and the later Altimas is the front end. The front ends, they kind of changed a bit. Oh dear. So excuse me, people. The front end, they changed a bit. They gave the later ones, like 2005, 2006, a more aggressive front end. That's what the one I got. It's got a more aggressive front end. Oh dear. Oh Lord, pardon me, please. I gotta get rid of these. This looks like to be a 2005. Yeah, they changed the front end. I don't know if you can tell, but front end's a bit different. I need speakers. Excuse me. I need speakers. Excuse me. I don't think I want to do it in this one. Maybe if I find something better, I'll do it. But at this, excuse me. At this point, I don't think that one will be safe to get in. The thing with these cars is, you better hope to find one that's safely put on the ground, or excuse me, or hoist or in the air safe, so nothing bad will happen if you fall. Excuse me. Here's a turbo diesel, 300D. Okay, that should get rid of my hiccups. These are cool. Straight six. Excuse me. BMW Mercedes-Benz wasn't known for making, V8s like that. I think only a handful of their cars had V8s. This has a diesel straight six. These are really reliable. Excuse me. They're known for their reliability. Their quality is still there. The leather seats, as rough shape they are, you can just clean those off. And here we have, it's got to be a BMW 3 Series. Yeah, it's old BMW 3 Series. Unfortunately, it did what it did. It rusted out. So there's no saving it. These were really expensive cars back then. They really were. These were not cheap cars. I don't know how much the MSRP price of these cars when they were brand new back in 1979, but they were pretty expensive. It's got the American spec bumpers. None of the people back then none of the Europeans like that. What they did with these American spec bumpers, they didn't like them. It's a Previa. Oh Lord, you're gonna have to bear with me again with these hiccups. All right. See, Celica. These are cool cars. 2200 cc, 16 valve, double overhead cams. This is fresh. 92, still with the pop-up headlights. Those are cool cars. There's a lot of cool cars you can find out here. Here's looks like an S-Class Benz. It's got a big V8. Is that a straight six or a V8? That's a straight six. Wow, I didn't know this big thing had a straight six. Like I said, this is Mercedes-Benz's quality. It's still holding up a little bit. S320. Excuse me. Trying to get rid of these hiccups, y'all. I'm sorry. And excuse me. This is a Maxima. Maximas were really cool. Oh Lord. I'm gonna have to sit here. Give me a moment.